Alright guys, I took the cardboard off the neck board here, and as you can see there, I've made an attachment. Those are the back of those two ground pins. If you connect to either one, you're connecting the ground, so they're shorted together, and that's to give the net board a ground connection. And that wire, I soldered it there. It goes down right here to where this ground was clipped from the frame. This connects to the strapping that's grounded to the frame. And the last time I was swapping chassis out on this one, I just clipped the wire in half that goes to the neck board because it was soldered into the last neck board. And when I was testing and reconnecting and all, I would just use a one of those little wire nuts. And as long as you got these wires twisted together good and tight, and you use a wire nut or something, or like here I've got them twisted together and used electrical tape, you're going to get a good ground. If it was a permanent connection, I'd just go ahead and solder it really well. And then probably after I soldered it, I'd probably already have me a sleeve of heat shrink tubing or something slid down over this wire, and I'd just slide it in place over the connection and just use a hair dryer or something, or if you got a heat gun, hit it real quick and just shrink that heat shrink tubing up over that to make a more permanent connection, But that takes care of that. That's pretty much the final connection that I have to do. Chassis is installed, everything is connected. Got our remote board right here. We've got to make our power connection to the cabinet, and I've got to connect to this somehow. I've got to get me some jumper wires or something to connect to the signal that's coming off of the game board I'm going to test with. I'll probably just go ahead and test with my Mortal Kombat most likely. If not, I might use the Gauntlet Dark Legacy there since it's pretty close to, but most likely do it with the Mortal Kombat 1. But I'll be back in a minute, and hopefully we'll be testing this out and at least get a picture. Okay guys, I got the monitor kind of turned around here facing the opposite direction there, and it's hooked up to the back of the connections for the Mortal Kombat 1 cabinet. Got my power connection connected there, and luckily that was just a simple plug-in thanks to Smart Bomb 2084. He made this little adapter right here for me to fit my Mortal Kombat 1 cabinet, so I could connect it up there to my Wells Gardner K7400, and he done a great job on that. And luckily, since I've got this already, I don't have to do any kind of hack to the power wire. It connects right up to the connector on this one. So that's my power. And I did have to do a little bit of a hacking for the signals, and got some color-coded wire, and this of course is the normal connector from the monitor, and in the end there I have the wires, the individual colors for each of the color, and then I've got black for the ground, and the two sync wires I've got an orange and a brown, and I've just got them stress relieved with a little wire tie there, and they're going to stay in there good. They're in there pretty good and solid right now, and they're making good contact because I made a little loop with each one and put it in there, and yeah, it's temporary, but I'm not going soldering to his connector or anything like that, and I don't have time to wait for a connector. I've got to get to working on this thing. So, and on the other end, this is a connector from my Mortal Kombat 1 cabinet. Usually these two connectors plug onto the chassis for your monitor, but they don't fit this one. So since they don't fit, I've got this jumpered over, and they're just pushed in there, and like I said, it's just temporary, and they push in there for each color coded, and they're in there pretty snug actually. They're not going anywhere. And I'm trying right now the I believe it's the horizontal sync wire. If I'm wrong on that, that's the vertical sync wire, and then here's the other one. I've got it undone right now. I think all it needs is a horizontal sync if I'm not mistaken, and that's all. Well, that's all the game supplies anyway, is horizontal sync, and right there it is, the white wire. But I've just got this hooked in right now. I think that goes to the horizontal sync on the monitor chassis. Some games they have both horizontal and vertical, and I heard you could twist them together, but this only has one, and we'll just see if this works. If not, we'll try the other wire. If not, I don't know if I want to twist these together. I'll do a little more reading before I twist them together, because I've never done that before. So, we're going to give it a try like it is, and hopefully nothing goes kaboom from my solder connections, anything I've done. And let me push this little sync wire in there just a little tighter. There we go. And these are just signal wires, they're not power wires, otherwise I wouldn't be laying them across carpet like that. So, but anyway, set some of my tools out of the way there, and everything's connected. It's pretty much ready to power on. We're going to plug in the Mortal Kombat 1 cabinet. Had it plugged in. And all it's going to take is flipping the switch up top. I'm going to keep the camera on the monitor, so when anything goes boom, y'all can watch it, and I can make apologies later and pay for this guy's chassis. That's pretty normal so far. I think I've got some neck glow in there. I don't think you can see it. Sounds perfect. Got a tone from the game. Cut my lamp off. Hey, we got a display. Only problem is it's upside down, and that's okay. That's the yoke wires. I've got something wrong with the yoke wires. Yeah, on his chassis, those yoke wires would have to be reversed, which I'm probably not going to do that, because if I reverse it, I'm going to have to crack my connector, and I didn't really want to crack my connector on this tube. I got another tube in there that already has a connector cracked, but there's something hooked to it already. Looks like we're reversed vertically and horizontally is what it looks like, because we're upside down. As you can see, everything's scrolling up. And if I let you take a look at it, you can't read it either. And I'm going to make a few adjustments on the remote board and see if I can't get this looking a little clearer. It's going to look kind of greenish yellowish. We do have colors though, because see there you see red, and that's supposed to be yellow, and then I believe green. But see, this monitor has a weak blue gun, so I'm going to have to adjust it to get it looking a little better. And it's still going to look greenish yellow. So let me adjust it some. Well guys, we're back. I made a little bit of adjustment just mainly to the brightness and the contrast. And actually looking pretty decent. You know, like I said, my blue gun is weak in here, so there's not much I can do about that. But actually looking pretty good. And again, like I said, the reason it's upside down and the reason the words are backwards is the yoke wires. I can flip them around, reverse them, and all that stuff, you know, but the only way to do that really is to crack my connector in half. And I'm not sure I want to do that. I might do it before this video is over, but to be honest, it's looking pretty decent. It's got really good focus. Really good focus. Looking pretty decent. I want to sit here and watch this for just a little bit while I do some other things, because usually the way he's talking, it goes out on him and he starts getting, I believe, retrace lines and stuff. Looks really good right now, I think. Could be some adjustments made because it's kind of off the screen a little bit, but I cut a light on here. And get down here close to it, to the remote board. Okay, there's our vertical size. Got a pretty good adjustment with that, with the vertical size. See if we got a vertical position on here. Vertical position. Yeah, there we go. I know I don't have this focused on the screen perfectly right now, but I'm just adjusting it while I'm holding the camera. Bright, contrast, let's see. Oh, he's got a pincushion control, and he has horizontal position and vertical hold. Well, that looks pretty darn good right there on mine. It's going to be different when he gets it on his tube. And the adjustments he had made, you know, I've changed these adjustments on his remote board. He's going to have to readjust them so it works better with his tube. But we're in full light right now, and that's not too darn bad. It's looking pretty good to me for a monitor with a weak blue gun. I'm going to go into test menus and let you see the colors. And I'm going to have to change my batteries, so I'll come right back. My battery's going dead. Okay. I'm back with my fresh batteries in here. Let me go ahead and go into the test mode here. See if I can control this from my position here. Sorry guys about the poor camera work. My room is really crowded here with all kinds of stuff right now. Let's see. Trying to read this backwards. Okay. Go to red screen. And we're getting red. I want to turn this light off because it looks better in the dark. So we got red there. And my tube here has just a little screen burn. You probably can't see it. It says collector's comic book or something like that. And it's got the power meters up top. Just a little. But like I said, this is just good for a test tube. See, let's go to green. Got great green, really strong green on this tube. Here's the blue. Ooh, isn't that blue? Blue screen. Yeah. See, the blue doesn't even really show up, and the reason is he's got his blue drive turned down, and it's because his has probably got very good blue output. And I'm not sure I want to mess with it. I mean, I'll contact him and I'll see if he wants me to mess with it to see how good I can get it looking, but he would have to readjust it when he gets it home, and I don't really want to mess with that if the colors look pretty good on his tube. But there's the colors and everything, and see it's showing no blue in there. And I mean, my gun may have went just about completely out. It does have some blue when we're in the game. It showed it a minute ago, but I could turn that blue drive up. Maybe let me take a look. I'll tell you what, I'll come back in just a second. I want to take a look and I'll make a mark where his blue drive is. I'll turn it up, but then I'll turn it back to where it was. I'll be right back. Well, I think it's starting to exhibit the problems that Adidas was talking about. I couldn't get any blue to come in. I adjusted the blue drives and then put them back where they were. Like I say, it's very possible that this monitor's blue finally went completely out, because I've transported this a little bit in my vehicle, my SUV, because I had some parts and stuff in there, and I stuck this in there for a trip or two, so that blue gun was failing. I might have jarred it slightly, and that blue gun may be completely out. If not, I need to check his transistor for the blue and make sure, you know, it's soldered in good, and maybe just check the transistor itself. But I don't have any blue on here right now. It doesn't surprise me with this tube. I do have another tube in there if we need to that I can hook up to this thing, and we can check it and make sure the blue's okay. But I'm starting to see the scan lines. I don't know if you guys can see it in this video. I believe you can right there. The scan lines are seeming to come in a little bit. And another thing I noticed is I did kind of tap the monitor frame. Watch this. Watch the monitor closely. Well, hold on just a second. Watch the monitor. There it goes. Shouldn't be doing that, so that might be the flyback. When you tap the monitor frame, he said when he hit the side of his cabinet, sometimes it would straighten the problem out and it would come back in and stuff. But it still doesn't look that bad right now. And you know, I'm going to adjust the screen down, screen control down just a little bit to see maybe, since this is just warming up, if it's just doing it because it's warming up. But I believe it's probably going to keep exhibiting that problem until we change that flyback. But let me cut the light on. See if I can get back here and adjust this screen control. Kind of feeling in the dark here. Okay, I think that's it. And back off just a hair. Yeah, one a little darker. Hold on, I'll come right back. I adjusted the screen control down a little bit, and the scan lines, retrace lines, however people call it, have went away. It looks pretty good. Still don't have any blue. Like I said, it could be this tube. I'm seeing the scan lines a little bit on this screen. You can't see it in the video, I'm sure. Green looks really good. Red looks really good. I'm going to go back out and flip my switch in the cab here. Doesn't look too bad. Just looking at it to me, it's not really that bad. And I do have blue in there. It's just that blue's really weak. I guess it's not showing up in the test colors. See, Sub-Zero is blue, but there's still that yellow screen tint on the screen. But guys, it's like 2:30 a.m. I'm pulling another late nighter, and I want to turn this stuff off and make sure my soldering iron's cooled off good, and I need to get into bed. I've got work tomorrow, 8 hours, and then we're leaving for Six Flags tomorrow evening around 6 or so. Just going to stay in a motel overnight and have a couple days at the park. Come back on Monday. So probably won't get to work with this much more tomorrow, but to be honest with you, I mean, I know my video's kind of poor here, but that doesn't look too bad to me. But I think we're going to go ahead and do a cap kit to it. We're going to go ahead and do a new flyback, see if it straightens out some of the issues it does have. I want to send a quick pic to him, maybe, or something, maybe a real short video clip, just so he can see it operating. And we'll talk to you later.